Welcome to the Indie Film Hustle Podcast, episode number 38. Filmmaking is a chance to live many lifetimes. Robert Altman.
Broadcasting from the back alley in Hollywood, it's the Indie Film Hustle Podcast, where we show you how to survive and thrive as an indie filmmaker in the jungles of the film biz. And here's your host, Alex Ferrari.
Welcome, my indie film hustlers. I am your humble host, Alex Ferrari. Head over to freefilmbook.com. That's freefilmbook.com to download your free film audiobook from audible.com. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I am constantly learning, picking up books, taking courses, furthering my education as a filmmaker, entrepreneur, and person. And I wanted to put together the best filmmaking courses on the web, available on the web, in one place for my Indie Film Hustle tribe. So you head over to indiefilmhustle.com/film school. And there you'll find different courses on screenwriting, on directing, on producing, on visual effects, post-production, and so many, many more. Now today, guys, I wanted to talk about a serious problem facing all of us filmmakers and independent filmmakers out there. It is a growing epidemic that needs to be discussed. And I wanted to start off the new year with this very, very serious conversation. And I'm just going to lay it out really plainly and simply. Stop with the gear porn. That's right. If you guys have never heard of the term gear porn, it is when filmmakers obsess about gear. And there's so many websites out there that will remain nameless that focus on just gear porn, the latest gear, the latest this, the latest that. I'm so freaking tired of it. It is what I think single-handedly is hurting independent filmmaking. It's hurting independent filmmakers because they're just focusing on gear. They're not focusing on what really matters, which is story. I'm so tired of hearing about filmmaking arguments like, which is the better camera? I shoot with the Red. I shoot with the Arri. I'm shooting 4Ks. My 4K is better than your 5K. My 5K is better, or my 8K is better than your 5K. And those guys are called pixel pushers. People that just literally fixate on pixels, and they don't fixate on story. Guys, we're storytellers. That's what we do. We don't need to argue about what drone is the best or what lens is better than what other lens for the same price or what camera stabilizer is better than the other. Gear is important without question. You can't make a movie without gear, and higher end gear is obviously better if you know how to handle it, if you know how to deal with it, if you understand the workflow, as I've talked about ad nauseum in other podcasts. And the revolution of technology for independent filmmakers has been amazing. To be able to have a Red camera, to have that kind of quality at that price point, or to have the GoPro, to be able to shoot 4K, to be able to shoot with a DSLRs, to be able to shoot with a Blackmagic, and be able to get these amazing images with these very low cost cameras and lenses. And it makes filmmaking so much more accessible to all of us than it wasn't before, before you needed to have a $250,000 worth of gear just to go out and just shoot something. Now you can do it literally with your iPhone. But you need to focus on story. Learning the craft of storytelling is not sexy. It is hard work. It is much sexier to look at the latest Red camera or the latest Blackmagic camera or the latest this or that lens or the latest stabilizer or crane or whatever it is. Do you think Christopher Nolan or Martin Scorsese or Tarantino obsess about gear? Do you think they sit around, going, oh God, what is the next new thing I'm going to work on? No, they don't. They learned about telling stories first. And then they go grab the right tool for the job, because that's all it is. Gear is a tool. It is a storytelling tool, guys. It is not the end all be all, which a lot of filmmakers think that, oh my God, if I don't have this camera, I can't tell a story. If I don't shoot this, and believe it, I'm one of them. I was the guy who's like, I won't shoot a movie unless it's shot on the Red or it's shot at a certain level or at this or that. And you know what? At a certain extent, I do want to have the best gear at my disposal, but I don't obsess about it. I don't let it paralyze me as a filmmaker and as a storyteller. If I don't have this or I need that, or you spend hours looking into details and stuff like that. You guys just concentrate about telling stories. Learn how to tell stories. before you start picking up a camera and start shooting, which is the problem with so many filmmakers. They just grab the latest gear and they go off and shoot a movie and they think, well, if it's shot on red, it has to be good. I have to be able to make money with it. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know what else is shot on red? Porn. Porn is also shot on red. It's also shot in 4K. It doesn't matter, guys. It's all about the story. Let me just look. You can pay $1 for a hammer, or you can pay $100 for a hammer, but both will put the nail in the wood. But it's the carpenter who practices and takes the time to learn how to hit that nail just right with one swing that is the true craftsman. Don't rely so heavily on gear to tell your story, because gear doesn't. You, the filmmaker, tell stories, not the gear. A good filmmaker can tell a story with a Red Dragon shooting in 6 or 8K, or with an iPhone. Again, guys, gear is extremely important without question. Lenses, cameras, lights, all sorts of film gear is essential to telling your stories. But making films, actually making the movies, telling your stories, is more important than the latest gear. And please stop believing all the hype from all of these gear companies who come out and every time there's a new piece of gear, you run out and upgrade your camera or upgrade your lens or everything every single time they release something new. It's just hype. It's marketing. You can grab a Red 1, a 4K Red 1, first generation, and go out and tell an amazing story. Because you know what? A lot of filmmakers did that. A lot of filmmakers that didn't have a Red Epic told great stories. Good filmmakers have been telling good stories with whatever gear is available to them since the beginning of time. Okay, some of the greatest films of all time were not done with the highest resolution or the greatest this or the greatest that. They were just done. They were just made. They just told stories. Go grab a camera and tell your story, all right? And stop worrying about the gear. Stop obsessing about the gear. Stop the gear porn, everyone, please, and start making movies. I hope you understand, guys. I'm not trying to yell at you or berate you about this, but I want you guys to succeed. And if you guys are focused on gear and gear alone, it's not gonna get you anywhere. I hope you guys enjoyed my intervention. If you want to take a look at the show notes, head over to indiefilmhustle.com/38. Thank you guys again so much. And if you do enjoy the podcast, please head over to filmmakingpodcast.com and leave us an honest review of the show. Guys, thanks again for listening. I wish you nothing but the best of luck with all your projects in 2016. It's going to be an amazing, amazing year. It's never been a better time to be an independent filmmaker. As long as you got that hustle, you got that knowledge, and you put it all together. All right? Keep that hustle going. Keep that dream alive. And I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Indie Film Hustle podcast at indiefilmhustle.com. That's INDIEFILMHUSTLE.com.